Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and as promised, I'm back with the 1976 Mighty Marvel Bicentennial calendar. Last time around, I showed off the 1975 Mighty Marvel calendar, which was very cool, but it's not nearly as cool as this one. So this was the first of the Marvel calendars that I got. And just to remind you, in the classic Marvel line of calendars ran from 1975 to 1981. And what's great about most of these calendars is most of the artwork is unique to the calendars and is by their best artists, oftentimes drawing characters that they don't usually draw. So you get some really cool combinations of creators and characters that you're just not going to see anywhere else. It's also, for me, I love having them on display. I can flip to different months anytime I want to see different artwork, and I have several of them on display, so I'm constantly changing the artwork here in my office. So I just love having these vintage calendars around. It's so cool. This is the first one I got. I actually got this at my LCS, and then I started looking for others after that. So let's jump in. Here's the inside, front, top, where it basically just tells you that it has a speech by Stan saying "Happy Birthday to America." Happy birthday, America. This is Stanley talking. I'm not going to do a Stanley impression. Happy birthday, America. Was it only yesterday that you were just a dream in the hearts of the oppressed, yearning to breathe free? Was it only yesterday that the land was endless, the rivers ran clean, and the forests bloomed everlasting? Was it only yesterday that we were united as one, illumined by a beacon of hope that brightened the world? And then it goes through some stuff and blah, blah, blah. Happy birthday, America. He says that a lot. Though you may falter, though you may stumble, ever do you strive. For there must come a day when all your children will live as brothers in justice and peace. Then, and only then, will the promise be fulfilled. Then, at long last, shall you be the America that you were born to be. Happy birthday, America. Stan Lee. There's more. It's very moving. It's Stan Lee, after all. Then we get the year of the glance, where it teases what's to come. But the tease does not prepare you for what you're actually going to get. Anyway, January is the Submariner. February we have the Hulk, I think, with the Defenders. March is Black Panther. April's Conan. May is Thor. June Spider-Man. July Captain America. August Fantastic Four. September is Daredevil. October is the Marvel horror line again. November, this time they have a Marvel sci-fi cosmic line. And then December is the Avengers. Okay, so here's the unique conceit that we didn't get anything like this last time. The unique conceit is thus. It's our Marvel heroes, but they're all in the Revolutionary War helping America. So they're all back in 1776, or most of them are back in 1776, helping America be founded by fighting the evil British. So there's some very strange pictures in this, which I love. So here is, I said the Namor is January. It's actually the Namor with the Invaders. And they're here with John Paul Jones, I guess, helping the American Navy. And most of these aren't signed. They're not credited either. So I think this is Frank Robbins, but I'm not 100% sure. I put together a complete run of Invaders and then I sold it before reading it. It was just one of those things where conceptually I thought I was going to really like it, but I read like the first appearance in Giant Size Invaders and it just didn't really do anything for me. I felt like All-Star Squadron kind of was Roy perfecting that. Here's Hulk. It's February, and it's Hulk. He's at Valley Forge. Yeah, it's Hulk. It's Hulk. He's at Valley Forge, guys. March, we have the Black Panther leading some kind of beach assault. And it looks like they're somewhere tropical. So I don't know if this is, I don't know, South Carolina? I don't know where this is taking place. Um, but I do find it interesting that the Black Panther, the Prince of Wakanda, the African nation of Wakanda, is leading American forces here. It's not completely, I mean, we had a lot of people from France and other parts of Europe, so I guess it could happen. Here's one of my favorites, Gil Kane, and this time it's Conan leading the Patriots in a charge across the field. Just classic. And Gil Kane was the regular penciler for a little, just a hot minute. Say regular penciler. He was sort of like a regular fill-in penciler. Here we have Thor calling down the lightning to assist Ben Franklin in this experiment. I have to say I like the concept of this one. I think this might be a John Buscema. I'm not 100% sure. But there's Thor helping Ben Franklin conduct his famous experiments on the lightning. We got another naval scene here. This time, the British Navy is bombarding a fort, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Spider-Man's helping. I'm a bit of a history buff. I have to say I don't recognize this flag that's flying here, so I feel like a gap in my understanding. So if someone wants to tell me what that is, I would look it up myself right now so I could appear smarter, but I don't want to pause the video just for that. So I'll let you guys do that. Here's probably my favorite. This is what I usually have on display here in my office. It's Captain America with the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Here's the Fantastic Four. And I guess they're crossing the Delaware. It's not the classic crossing the Delaware picture because we're going to see that later. But they're making things a little bit easier. What with all the flying and the stretchiness of it all. Trying to hold these up for a little while so you can really see the pictures. I don't want to take them down too quickly. So here we're moving on to September, and now we have it's just Marvel's line of random people from Sal Buscema. So it's other people that are around. We've got Daredevil, Black Widow, Son of Satan, Doctor Strange, Power Man, Ghost Rider, and Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. It's just Marvel's B-listers and C-listers all together. Here's a really cool picture. You can always count on Brunner, Frank Brunner, and it's Marvel's horror people, and this time it's I just completely blanked. But you know the story it is. It's this one. Just I'm having a massive brain fart right now. But this is a clever way to incorporate them. I mean, it could just be a random guy writing, but it seems very much that it's a what's his name, Ichabod. Stretching things to their absolute limit, it's the cosmic heroes, which are just sort of represented up in the night sky above a sailing vessel. This is where they were like, we're out of ideas. We got nothing. Once we had Conan leading the troops in that charge, we kind of just like lost track of what we were doing. But this appears to be by Starlin. So that's interesting. The inking doesn't look like Starlin though. Oh wait, this actually has a signature, but it's punched through. Starlin ink pencils, but who's the inker? I can't quite read it. Let me see. Oh, it's Alan Weiss. So that's why it doesn't look like Starlin's line work. Is because Alan Weiss is very distinctive. Alan Weiss is great. And finally, we have the Avengers, as promised. The Avengers helping George Washington cross the Delaware. I would have to think that having the Avengers on this mission greatly improved their chances of success. One of the most important military actions in the history of America. Untold story. The Avengers were there. So this is the kind of mashup that I'm all about. And then we have this. So last time around, at the end, they had this thing where you could spin the wheel of zodiac signs, and you're supposed to use it to create a superhero or villain and send it into Marvel. Well, guess what? They actually have the winner here in the back. Capricorn. Which I think is kind of cheesy. They just spun it and they didn't even come up with a new name. They're just like, yeah, it's a version of Capricorn. Because Marie Severin created a character that was based on things like the gemstones and all the different details that they gave you. And this person's just like, it's Joe Bengelli is the name of the person who won. And he's just like, yeah, let's just make it actually Capricorn. His sign is the goat, hence the goat legs and horns. No kidding. His ruling planet is Saturn, world of such virtues as endurance, industriousness, reliability, stability, patience, and concentration. Capricorns are victors. His element is earth, and his birthstone is garnet. There's a garnet on his belt. His suit is red. And then they had John Romita draw it. So that's a stupid character. That's dumb. I'm sorry. It's literally just Capricorn, but with a belt. So I don't know. Either all the other entries were even crappier than this, or Marvel just like lost their minds when they were deciding who won it. Here's a list of birthdays of people who are not important enough to get their birthdays in the main part of the calendar. Oh, this is handy. Okay, sorry. I just paused because I didn't realize this. This has this thing here. It tells you what all the pictures are supposed to be. And I was right. It is Ichabod Crane. But it also tells you who drew them all. So that's handy. The last one did not have that. So art provided by Frank Robbins, Herb Trimpe, Bob Brown. I'm just listing the pencilers. Gil Kane, John Buscema, Ross Andrew, John Romita, Joe Sinnott, Sal Buscema, Frank Brunner, Jim Starlin, and Jim Mooney. So anyway, that's 1976. Probably my favorite of the calendars, although there's some tremendous artwork coming up in some of the later calendars. 77 has some great art. Actually, they all do. But when we get to 78, at that point, we start to see themed calendars, because 78 is Spider-Man, 79 is a Hulk calendar, and 1980 is all Doctor Strange, which is a very interesting choice of all of the Marvel properties. They decided to do their entire calendar around Doctor Strange. So when we get to those, we're going to see some things where they actually go through the history of the character and reproduce scenes, famous scenes from throughout their back issues, but reinterpreted by today's best modern artists. So those are going to be really cool. Next time around, though, 1977. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of Capricorn, and I'll see you next time.